Cities are critical for the circular transition because today cities consume 70% of global resources and generate 50% of all waste. Cities also can act as cradles and catalysts for the circular transition, thanks to their concentration of population, businesses, and resource flows.
A problem for a linear city or for a linear company is to go from thinking about circular economy to actually doing it. For that purpose, together with the Hub, we have developed a guide called 15 Circular Steps for cities. For a city to start a journey, they need to plan, they need to set out a vision, a strategy. They need to act on many different levels. How can assets be used? How can resources be recovered? How can you stimulate, incentivize, etc.? You also need to mobilize all the stakeholders, get them to talk, work together, find ways of reaping, harnessing synergies, etc. You also need to monitor and report. Under the Urban Agenda Partnership for Circular Economy, we have defined the need to prepare a Circular City Funding Guide, which will be a guide for both fund seekers and for funders.
The Circular City Funding Guide is a website that contains information for cities and other urban actors to actually accelerate the circular economy within their own region or city. The first block will consist of information on what the circular economy is, helping cities actually to understand on what they can do to accelerate the circular economy. The second block of the Circular City Funding Guide will consist of information on the funding landscape. So what kind of funding possibilities are there, what kind of funding sources are there. The third block of the funding guide consists of information for funders as well as cities on how they can use their own budget to stimulate the circular economy.
The Circular City Funding Guide could help Norwegian cities and the city of Oslo in two ways. First, it provides us with a one-stop shop where we get to learn more about different funding initiatives and investments in circular economy projects. And secondly, that we also get to learn about how other cities outside of Norway work with circular economy, to learn about how they finance their transition to a circular economy.
I think the Circular City Funding Guide can help Slovene cities in two ways. One is as cities as fund seekers, and the other way is as cities as funders. It's specifically important for smaller cities who don't have their own capacity to do the research and to find the funding, as well as to have the knowledge on how to become more circular in the way they finance. I think it can be used also for national governments to improve their existing financing instruments and also as an additional help in public procurement.
Eurocities is a network of large European cities, and we facilitate the knowledge exchange of cities, of best practices in circular economy. The guide will be an incredibly useful tool for our cities to understand where and how to access funding to enable those circular economy projects to become a reality.
WeCycle is a project that we developed in Maribor. It's about circular economy for public utility companies, but it's becoming now the circular economy model for the transition of our city. Advisory Hub and the guide can help with the implementation phase because we did the governance part. We have a strategy for the city already passed through the City Council. Looking forward to the next 3 to 5 years of implementation of circular economy in Maribor.
The guide will be a useful tool, so stay tuned and take an active role in turning your city to a circular city.